Megalopolis. So, do you want me to start with a general thing, or okay? Let me just start with like a general point, and then you can then start with a general point. Okay, so let me just make a general statement first. Is this a good film? No. Is this a great film? No. Is this a bad film? No. So I went in there I went in there very scared because I read reviews, I read what people had been saying, and I was like, oh gosh, this could be like, could be like the Room or something. And I think the best way I'll probably expand upon it more is it's an interesting. There are a lot of interesting ingredients here that are pretty interesting. The way they've been put together is poor. So when you eat them, you're like, okay, this meal doesn't taste good, but I like that ingredient. Oh, I like that as well. But the way you've put this together is a mess. So that's where I'm at with it. Is that it's not a good film, but from what people were saying, this isn't the worst film that I've seen. I've seen worse, and I'll mention that film. That is categorically worse than this film. So that's where I'm at.
What film is that?
Deadpool and Wolverine.
Oh. Yeah, but Deadpool and Wolverine isn't a movie though. That's like
you can't do that. It was released in the cinema.
No, I know.
It was put out so.
It's not a.
No. But then that's what I say. So, because we'll probably get into much more of like a bigger Hollywood discussion here. This is what art is about. Someone took a mighty swing, and for some it was a complete miss, and for others it was like, okay, you hit well, but you missed well. But that's someone puts their art out there, and the thing with the arts is there are people that are going to hate it, call it crap, but at least it's art. Deadpool and Wolverine, that's not art.
No, but what I'm saying, yeah, but my point with that is that I can't even say that those guys were trying to do that. Like, for what it was, like we've said when we did that video on Deadpool and Wolverine, for what it was trying to do, it did it very well. Like for what it was doing, it did it. Like, you know.
Okay, but what was it to do? I don't know what it was doing.
What it was doing is that we're going to make maximum fan service, and maximize all the films we've made with these characters, and leverage the other characters that we've released in this series that have been forgotten. Because remember, they put all of those characters in there that were the forgotten fan favorites in various films, and then obviously Blade wasn't a side character. That was a big fan favorite. Yeah. Who all the characters that they threw in there were the characters that have somewhat been forgotten, you know, and people liked to a degree, or were fans of the comic book versions of them to a degree. So they did everything to just make fans go, yeah. Like when you listen to the way people talk about that film, nobody says it's an amazing film. The way they talk about it is based on the things that happened in it, who they saw in it.
Which is just okay. Which, in my opinion, is dumb. That's like cheating.
No. But what I'm saying is that was the intention of what they were trying to do. This thing. Look, if somebody asked me, what is Megalopolis about? I couldn't tell you.
I have no idea what it's about. I know what that I have about. A general idea of what it's about. But
you can have a general. But I'm like, you can't make a. Well, you can. I'm not saying you can't make a film, but you make a movie where I don't know why I'm watching it. Like I got like 20, 30 minutes in. I'm like, okay, so what is this guy? What is he trying to do? Yeah. Like what is anybody trying to do? Like I know there's. This person has an issue with that person. Do you know what it felt like? This is what it felt like. It felt like somebody who is a big fan of literature trying to do their own version of it.
And they just Shakespeare. A mishmash of just different literary ideas put together.
It felt like fan fiction of Greek mythology and Shakespeare. That's what it felt like. It felt like somebody who just a fan of Greek mythology and fan fiction and just created their own thing of it at a massive budget. And even the massive budget is 150 million. I didn't know why it cost that much, to be honest. I mean, when I looked at it, I'm like, okay, I get to a degree, but 150? Really? That being said, you know, obviously, I mean, look, it was very this is the sort of thing that would have come out in the 70s or 80s or something, and people would have still said it wasn't good. But it would have, you remember when that movie came out. That's what it felt like when I was watching. I was like, yeah, this is very, I don't look at that and say, I can't believe it's a Coppola movie. I'm like, no, this is right in line with some of the things he's made. And I didn't like those films. Like
Jack.
This was very Godfather Part 3. You know, it was very,
Was
very
it?
Godfather. Yeah, it was. Yeah, there were elements of this thing. When you think of the theatricality and the ridiculousness of some of the stuff that happened in Godfather 3, I was like, yeah, this is very, very, very
Bring
similar
me
to
back in. Yeah.
it was very similar to that. I just felt like,
It's pretentious.
yeah, it's like nothing. It was like you're supposed to like it if you're smart type of film.
Even if you're smart,
No. I'm not saying that you will. I'm saying that that's what it feels like it's saying. It's very art house, highbrow. That's what it's trying to say. I don't believe it is. But what I'm saying, when I'm watching it, I'm thinking, how do you make... Do you know that I was fully asleep at one point? I slept.
Oh no, there were moments.
asleep.
Yeah, there were moments because there were four of us in the cinema, and like the guy in front of me, I could tell the guy was like this, and everything. Because like I think around like the middle, I was like, okay, Francis, okay, I'm lost. No, because I'm like, okay, I'm following, but my thing is that there are elements here that could make an interesting film. But it's just that they're just a whole bunch of ideas and he's just not cooked them well. There were some interesting ideas here and there were some interesting visuals.
What is the interesting idea?
Oh, no. Basically, the whole thing of this, there is this guy who might be a slight magician and it's like a heightened reality future who wants to build a ambitious city of the future, and the guy who wants to keep the city where it is and mess up the people where they are. And the guy whispering wants to like modernize civilization. So that general premise is interesting with regards to it's real but not quite real. So there's a bit of magic involved and how the world looks like. But the issue is that the ideas are not well cooked. Like the Shia LaBeouf character, that's not that character was just cooked out. So he came in, did stuff, then came out. There's so many half-baked ideas that hardly any idea have time to really cook. Because like, okay, that's interesting. Then you leave the idea. So it's just a bunch of half-baked ideas.
What did the reviews say? I didn't read any of the reviews.
No, just like it's a mess, doesn't make sense. One star. This is just pretentious, up its own ass. Just, basically a complete mess. It doesn't make any sense. A lot of the reviews that I read, a lot of reviews said it's a complete mess.
The reviews, critics don't. I don't
Oh
know.
no. Like, I just looked at them in general, but whenever I go and watch a film, I never read a review. I always stumble upon general consensus, but I only look at reviews or watch video reviews after I've seen a film, always. Because I never want any review to mess up my viewpoints of watching this.
I mean, look, man, I'm glad he got to do it. I like the idea of a guy getting to make the film he wants to make, how he wants to make it. He did it with his own money. I like that. I also like that I supported it financially. So I would still do. I don't feel bad doing it.
No.
I pay for it because I believe in it philosophically. But that was not a good film, man.
Oh no, it wasn't a good film. Oh, okay. Would you call it? Okay, so we both agree it's not a good film. Would you call it a rubbish film?
No, it's not rubbish. I mean, rubbish is extreme.
Yeah,
that's extreme. Bad, yes. Rubbish, no. Bad, yes. Oh, 100%. Like, I mean, it's like, if that was not Coppola, and it was just some random person, do you know the things I would say? The reason why I'm talking like this is because of who made it.
Now, here's the thing, though. Should you? Shouldn't you be fair with whoever it is?
That is how, no. When you've done what that guy has done, you've made those sort of films, yes. You've earned me not saying certain things.
What? What?
Yes. No, 100%. Nah.
Does that make sense? Does that make sense?
No, it makes sense because you've put yourself out there and you've made masterpieces. 3 of them. 3. 3 masterpieces. Masterpieces.
And Dracula was very good. I know you don't put it in there. Dracula was very
Dracula
good.
is very good. No,
Very good.
I just don't call it a masterpiece.
No.
Because it's not on the level of those. It's not a masterpiece.
Yeah.
But Dracula is excellent. That's a very good movie. You know, to me, it's the best Dracula film of all of them.
Oh, yeah,
And
yeah,
there've
yeah,
been a
yeah.
lot. There've been a lot of Dracula movies, and that's the best one. Well, yeah, it is. You know, I mean,
To be honest, I've not watched a lot of Dracula. I've not watched like the Boris Karloff ones and
Well, there's the,
Sauron. Is it no Saruman?
Lee,
Saruman. Christopher Lee.
Christopher Lee's ones are definitive because he was
He is
just
Dracula.
so good at the character.
No, he is Dracula. He's
Yeah,
Dracula.
he was just so good at the character that you just think of him. When you look at Gary Oldman's one, that is just an incredibly good Dracula. It's
Yeah.
just very specific. You know, it's a very, very specific, artistically specific Dracula. It's excellent Dracula.
Yeah.
But Christopher Lee is like the quintessential. It's
Yeah.
basically what you just think of when you think of the character
Dracula,
because
yeah.
he did it for a long time and he's such a good actor. And then on top of that, there's something about the way he did it. So when you watch those films, you're like, it sort of feels like this is the Dracula, but then you look at the other ones. But as a movie, Bram Stoker's Francis Ford Coppola one is the best one. But where he sleeps in Fairfax Abbey.
I mean,
One of the most amazing
really.
line
So
deliveries.
yeah, wasn't Kirsten Dunst was like a child, wasn't she? Well, she was in it, wasn't she?
She was a kid, yeah. No, that was Interview with the Vampire.
So who was there? So was there a young girl in Dracula?
I think so. I don't know whether she was in it as well. I think there was, but she was a kid in Interview with the Vampire. That's when she was a kid.
Oh, okay.
Like she had a proper role, and she was a kid in that.
Oh, okay. No, she wasn't in it. Obviously Tony Hopkins as well. I'm thinking.
Yeah, so that's the thing. Yes, you know, you're 100%. When you've done what he's done, you get to. It's actually part of the reason why I've insulted the hell out of M. Night Shyamalan, but not. I will never call him trash.
No, it was because so you never watched Trap.
I'm going to. I haven't yet.
Yeah, like no, look, see, we see, because this is a good convo about look. Even if you call it bad or not good whatsoever, a guy has taken a swing. A mighty swing.
No, yeah.
And
I mean,
I don't want to look at Trap. I don't want to, but yeah, there are many issues with Trap. I'm like, man, this is original. So I'm like, yeah, that doesn't work. Oh, that works. That does work. But that's what's film in a utopia. That is what the film industry should be. There are guys. Everyone takes a swing. Everyone takes a swing.
Not necessarily. I think that there's room for. You see, back in those days when we were talking about classics, a lot of those films were formulaic movies that were great classic films. But they were films that were they were to a formula. You know, a lot of those action films, a lot of those thrillers, they were sort of formulaic, but they were done well, you know. And then once in a while, because what would happen is somebody would take a swing, create something really unique, and then you get 5, 6, 7, 20 movies copying that. Out of those 20, 2 to 3 of them would be great. Then somebody else takes another swing. That's what just kept happening.
No, because my issue is that how many people are allowed to take a swing? And has the industry become a lot more risk averse than it was in the 90s or the 80s or the 70s? Of where, okay, well, we're only going to allow each studio only will take like one swing, but everything else is superhero, romantic comedy, remake, reboot.
Yeah, it is. Everybody is risk averse, but I just feel like you can't. You know, I'm just saying. I'm saying. I'm not disagreeing that people should take more chances. I'm just saying it's not a case of every film that is getting made is taking a chance. You know, you won't have that. But I think a movie like this, when I watched it, I said, yeah, man, there is nobody that would have paid for this. Like, there is no way you would present a script like anybody's going to pay for that. I mean, come on.
So basically, I watched, because I bought the 4K of Blade Runner. So I watched the 4K Blade Runner yesterday. I don't care when anyone says the best intro to a film ever. I don't care. The best intro to any film ever is Blade Runner. And Ultimate Cut, without the disgusting, rancid commentary. So the thing though is
voiceover.
Sorry, voiceover without the rancid for voiceover. Amazing without the voiceover. Classic film. There are times when obviously you'd want the creator to put his vision out there, which is ideally what you want to do. But something like Megalopolis, this is where someone has to say, okay, look, Francis, we have to do a lot of work here. This is ambitious, it's interesting, but no, we need another draft of that script, and a lot of stuff needs to be redone. Because this looks as if he just had full carte blanche. There was no second eyes, third eyes. This is just a pure passion project without any due diligence of trying to tighten the script, redo the script, or everything.
That's my problem. When I look at something like that, it makes me reflect on all his great films and realizing that, the screenwriters had a lot to do with it. I mean, the people who were involved, like.
So which films was he? So he was not a sole writer on either Apocalypse Now, Dracula, or The Godfathers. It was him and Mario Puzo for The Godfathers.
Godfather. Yeah.
So who did Apocalypse Now?
I think he always co-wrote, I think. I don't think he would do it by himself. I just think that,
Okay, so basically it was him, John Milius, and Michael Hare.
Yeah, so there was always somebody else, I think this, when you have situations where, did he do Godfather Part 3 by himself?
Let me check. Godfather 3. Yeah, what? It has a whole bunch of people. Oh yeah, co-written. No, it was him and Puzo that did 3.
I just think that, I looked at this and I said,
it's needed someone. It's needed another pair of eyes. Like this, as if this was just solely him.
There's no story to this. There's no point.
Okay. Look, guys. Spoiler. Remember, guys, this is spoiler review. So we're spoiling. You know that bits where like Modern Driver.
Yeah, it was just pulling.
Because at the point I was missing. I was like, okay, look, come on.
Yeah, listen, it does not make that is the actual definition of pretentious.
Yeah, no, it is. It is.
Because it makes sense to you. Like, I can come up with anything. I can come up with like throwing pancakes in the air and then kicking it like a football, and then that this is about the struggle of life. And when your life is really a pancake, and like if you can kick the pancake, then
you have to understand the symbiosis of eggs and milk and how eggs, milk, and sugar come together to make the earth. Because it's my view. It's screw you if you don't understand it. But that's
basically what you're talking about. Because I'm looking at that scene and I was like, I don't know what's this.
It's like, come on.
And then when they brought him into the room with the bandage and they were just screaming, and I'm like, okay, why are you screaming for? Like, what's going on? Like, what's
and then they opened his bandage and it looked like he looked like T-800.
It was weird, man. It was just weird. Like I said, it was just a very strange. And that girl.
Is it Nathan Emmanuel or Aubrey Plaza?
Yeah, the Emmanuel person. I was so. I don't even want to go there, man. Let me not go there.
Yeah, go. Come on, you might as well go. It's talk about. You might as well go there.
About that off air, man.
No. Say it. Scott, say it. Say it. It's talk back. Say it. Yeah, no. Look, I mean,
because it's just I just think that look, this man is from an older era, so. That's why he's making certain decisions. Because I was looking at that film and I was like, come on, man. It's 2024. Is this what we're doing? It's a guy who's now pulling chairs for people and...
Oh, wow. Man. You mean how Morpheus was...
Don't worry about it.
Morpheus.
Don't worry about it.
So basically, Morpheus was Caesar's handyman. Driving him around like a chauffeur. Driving Miss Daisy.
No, I mean, I'm like, look. The mayor was Esposito.
Yeah. Because he's half Italian, so.
Yeah. No, he grew up in Italy. I just was trying to figure out even that, and this is just something people would just know. It's like, so Esposito and that woman have parents?
I believe so. So because I saw she was in a film with Brandy. A film just came, a horror movie with the Brandy. That woman, is she white or mixed?
She's mixed. She's biracial now.
Oh, okay, she's biracial. Okay.
That was what I was, because I was so. Listen, that threw me off so much because I was confused.
No, because I thought because in that massive Colosseum scene, and also we have to get to John Voight afterwards. That Colosseum scene, there was her, and there was like a black woman behind Giancarlo Esposito. I thought that woman was the mother. I thought that was now. I don't want to be offensive. I thought she was the grandmother.
Who was the grandmother?
The
actual mother.
The actual mother. I thought she was the grandmother.
Mother, I thought that her mother was going to be white in the movie.
Oh yeah. Because she's
no,
mixed.
That was my. As soon as I saw, I'm like, okay, I know that she's the mayor's daughter, so his wife is going to be white. Like
White,
that's
yeah.
the only way that it makes sense, because I don't understand. And then that also just raised the question that, okay, so but then why would you do that? Like it was just very strange to me, because I was trying to, again, see, for people, if you're not black, these sort of things, you wouldn't even think of them. But for me, when I was watching it, that was just my instinctive thought. It was like, oh, okay, fine. So it was almost a what's the point? But then we know why. But I was like, you've got a black mayor in the film. So then why not just have his daughter be black? Like, I was just like, why don't she just be black? That's what I thought before I even knew who her mother was. I was like, if you're going to do that, like, why don't you just... But again, I'm not going to go into that because I could...
Oh, yeah. I mean, you can connect the dots. You can connect
exactly,
the dots.
Going on. But so that in and of itself, I was like, okay, what's his name? Shia LaBeouf's character was just...
Did not make sense. But look, it just shows, and I think we've already known this, he's a good actor. It's so unfortunate how his career has gone, because you can just...
I said it from day one. Even when we made Bayformers, I said the same thing.
Yeah, the guy's always been a good actor.
It's always
even in Holes, with that Disney film, like, he's always been a good actor. Just that with whatever's happened in his personal life, his career did whatever.
Also, the only problem is that he has to be cast correctly, because I don't believe that his range is like he can do anything type.
And he's not a leading man.
Nope.
But cast him in the right role, he can walk.
Yeah, he can. Which is why, if he wants to, he'll have a very long career in movies, because he's still very young. The guy is like, I don't know if is he 40? He's younger. He's not. I don't know if he's 40 yet. It may be early 40s at the most.
38.
There you go. Yeah, I don't think he's even 40. So this guy is very young, and I think it's because he started so young.
Yeah, he started very young.
He's done so much that you start thinking he's older than he actually is. This guy is a very young guy. So I remember when I said this back then, I said, because of his style of acting, he has a lot of longevity, because he's not a movie star style actor. He's actually a real actor.
He's an actor.
He's a real actor. So as he gets older, he's always going to get work, because his face is going to change. He's going to get more character in his face, and he's have more life experience and all those things. So he's somebody that I don't think his career is anywhere near finished, because that kind of amount of talent that he has, at any given moment, he could have a Mickey Rock moment with the wrestler. Like, at any moment, he could just pop out with something at any point.
Like, when you're good, it always helps you. When you just have that talent, trust me, there's always... It's like Eric Roberts. Say whatever wants. There is Eric Roberts. There is a role for him that's still waiting. That can show you how good of an actor he is. So no matter how much you want to ostracize him, it's still Rick Roberts.
Yeah, but Eric Roberts is good. Look, I like Eric Roberts. He's not Mickey Rock, though.
Have you seen The Last Outlaw?
I know. I've seen. Listen, he's not Mickey Rock. Like, see, the thing about those two guys, because they're friends and whatever, and they also were in the same era.
Yeah.
They came up in the exact same time.
Wait, were they both in Pope of Greenwich Village?
Yeah, both of them. That was that's where they became friends, basically, from that movie. And they're the same era, the exact same period of the same time. Their careers fell off roughly at the same time. So it's like mirrors of the same situation, But I believed, when I was young, I didn't know how good an actor Mickey Rourke was. I knew he was good. I didn't realize how good he was. When I got older and then I looked back, I see why he had such psychological problems with Hollywood, because when you're that good at what you do and people are trying to make you a pop movie star, and you've got this, and they push you in that direction, I can see how it will mess you up in your head, because he thinks he's a proper actor, and he wants to be. I want to go head to head with De Niro. I want to go head to head with these other guys. And guys are looking at you and say, "Are you joking? Look at yourself in the mirror. Come and do this love erotic movies and do this sort of stuff. Let's put you in this stuff." And because you're sort of like, okay, let me do that. But at the same time, I'm like, I want to be this. On top of that, you've got your childhood and your whole thing that you're battling with, all your demons. You decide to go and start boxing for the outlets that you get out of that. You let your face all get messed up. You're doing all of these things. Nobody could understand why I was doing it. But when I looked at it, I was like, this guy doesn't really care about what he looks like. You know, when I really looked at it now in my older age, I'm like, I don't think this guy really... I think it was almost like a curse that people liked what he looked like, because it's meant that he wasn't taken as seriously, which he wasn't.
Like you know, it's almost the opposite effect of with Johnny Depp and DiCaprio, but the only issue is that they're both just not as good as Mickey Rourke.
It's the opposite. What do you mean opposite effect?
So in the sense of, like, Johnny Depp, he even said that after 21 Jump Street, they were really trying to make him the poster boy, and he tried really hard to go away from that because they wanted him just to be the male sex symbol. So that's why he tried that partner with Tim Burton. DiCaprio, after Titanic, he was like, let me do everything in my power to disassociate myself with what they want to make me after Titanic. But the only difference was that you're just not as good as Mickey Rourke. So even if you did, and also this is, and they both successful were able to do it because maybe they played the game or whatsoever. But the issue is that you're just not as good of actors technically as Mickey Rourke was.
Also, that's a big reason, and also they played both sides for a while. Like they both played some of those sort of roles. But the thing is, I mean, I would give Johnny Depp that for 100%. Like that guy, he really, really went off. Like he really did.
Like the world was like literally the world, because women are obsessed with that guy. He could have literally starred in every romantic film that he wanted.
Most of his movies are quirky, like most of them, 99%. So he's somebody that you'd actually struggle after 21 Jump Street to find many movies other than Don Juan de Marco. And even that was like weird. Like it wasn't really a normal film. So you'd actually struggle to find it, because all the other guys, you'll find them. You'll find those movies with them. DiCaprio, all of these sort of people. Brad Pitt, they'd always do one and they do another one, do one like
also,
that.
Meet Joe Black.
He did a lot. Brad Pitt did a lot of those sort of things.
Meet Joe Black might be one of the most disgusting films ever made.
I
don't know.
That film.
I've never seen the film from beginning to end.
I see bits of it. I can't watch that movie.
Never.
But I look at it and I said, this is what I said to people. I said, Brad Pitt in Legends of the Fall, that's where he made his name. Like I tell people, I say, when you're a young kid and you don't know, what's all this Brad Pitt? Because he's old now, you don't know. I told you that. Go and watch that movie and think about how racial the world was in that time.
Was that mid-90s?
90s.
90s,
back in those days. And then you make a movie about the ultimate white guy. Like he was fighting bears at one point.
Yeah.
For the bear. Like, I mean, you make the ultimate, like, blue eyes, long hair.
Yeah, no.
He can do everything. I remember, because I always tell, why is it that I don't like Brad Pitt? Because he never did anything to me, never did anything messed up, whatever. In terms of, there's these crazy actors who do crazy things. He never did anything. And I said, no, I remember when I was young, that movie, it was Legends of the Fall. I hated that. It was so annoying, because I looked at it and I'm like, it was like the most it was the most macho, non-macho role.
Yeah.
It was like the most, it's like you make a man, but it's for women, like categorically. Like this character is just...
You are literally, it is literally the exact same thing with me, DiCaprio, and Titanic.
I never saw it, but exactly.
No, because so you've never seen Titanic?
I never.
What?
I said no. I boycotted it.
But
When I
wait,
saw
wait.
the way that everybody was watching that film, I said no.
Oh no. And Ruthie, I wouldn't recommend you to watch it for those reasons. Because but do you know what's so crazy about Titanic? Titanic is a special film. Do you know the amount of people who've never seen Titanic? But yet it's made all that money.
Yeah, because women watched it 15
No. 5 women watched it 1 billion times. The amount of people who have never seen Titanic is crazy.
Yeah, but that's what that movie was good for. Look, this is why everything that they say about, this Star Wars, Kathleen Kennedy, and all these female-led action films, and I say, you people are jokers. Women, if you want women to watch films, we know the kinds of films that women like. They're not, a girl is not going to go out and watch Star Wars 15 times. She's not going to do it.
And so another point, you know what trailer came out yesterday?
What?
John Wick Ballerina.
Oh, right. Oh,
So a woman going to go and watch? Heck no. So who is that for?
It's for men. You make that movie, that's why you're in a catch-22. When you make Ballerina, you've got to market that to guys who want to see their amas.
Yeah.
That's who you're marketing it to. That is not a female movie.
No.
But at the same time, you make the movie, but then you're going to be trying to make statements in the film about feminism. That's what's going to happen. About strong women, about this. And I'm like, you can't have it both ways. Like, if you're going to make an action film and you're going to appeal to guys, then just go all the way and appeal to guys. If you're going to make an action film like that, see, the problem with that is that John Wick is heightened reality. It's not real. So that means if you make it with a woman,
You have to now bring it back down to be real.
You're going to have to take it to the limits, because you will now have to make us believe that a woman is going to be capable of doing all the things that she's doing.
Not just any woman, a woman who's like literally a size 0, 100-pound woman, skinny woman is able to do all those things.
That's the problem. So you see, that's the issue you then have, because then you have to push it into complete fantasy. When John Wick is doing what he's doing, it's fantasy, but it's still a guy. It's
and there's still an element of reality too, because he's really unlocking that gun. He's really doing this. He's really doing that in Pontinagi, and that's judo throw. So
the point is that a man,
it's a nice balance.
A man could potentially, every move you're seeing, it's not possible a man could do all of those moves in one sequence. But any piece of what you're seeing is possible.
Yes.
That's the reason why the fantasy works, because you're watching it and you're like, yeah, I know that it's not likely that a guy could, in sequence, kill all these 15 people. But any moment in this thing, a guy of his build, Keanu Reeves' build, fighting that particular guy, if he punches right and he could do that damage.
Yeah.
It is possible. That's the main thing of why the fantasy can work. And that's a fine line, because even with Keanu Reeves, you're still sort of, okay, fine, I'll take it. You just sort of like, you just let it go, because he's not muscular enough to do some of the things, or strong enough to do some of the things he's doing. There's other guys that you'll see, like Scott Adkins, that you buy it. You're like,
yes.
Yeah, this guy looks like he could actually do this. Even though it's still fantasy. You're like, no, this guy looks like he could actually do this. So my thing with this is with all of this stuff is that, films-wise, this movie, I went out to support it. It was hard to get through, Cinematography was nice, I liked some of the images and stuff.
Pretty nice imagery and visuals, yeah.
But even that, it's not Ridley Scott. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's nothing about it that you're like, okay, that in and of itself, you walk away and you go. It's not. The main thing I can give this movie is this, which is the reason why it's good to always be original and take a swipe if you can. I won't forget I saw it. Like, it's not the sort of movie that I'll be like, yeah, I don't even remember anything about that. I'm like, no, I remember that film. Like, I did.
Oh, no, like, again, I don't remember anything from. The only thing I remember from Deadpool and Wolverine was Blade.
Yeah,
apart from that, I do not remember anything I saw from that film at all.
No, this film, I remember it, and it was just
like some of the things are so ridiculous that you can't forget them.
Yeah,
I'm like, what? Huh?
that ending was.
Oh yeah, with the baby. For me, I was like, wait a minute. You're ending on a baby crying, and then like the camera just go.
Yeah, I mean that is
The end.
this is a case of this man is an artist, and that's what you're watching here because this stuff doesn't make sense.
Yeah, it's just an artist unleashed. See,
Yeah.
do your arts, go unleash.
Yeah, because I'm like,
And that's
nah,
what you
man,
see.
This is you're making a film where you're not even thinking about your audience. Like your audience is irrelevant,
Yeah.
which is what a lot of artists are like. Like they don't care about the audience. They're just doing what they do, which is fine. But everything he's done, this is the point. Everything Coppola has done is correct. You went out there, made your movie, and paid for it with your own money.
Yes.
It's like there is nothing, which is why for me to what am I criticizing?
You can't criticize. Which is what
What am I even criticizing?
people have to be careful how they criticize. Have your own viewpoints, but from a certain point of view,
I've got nothing
in
to say.
terms of supporting arts and the artistic ideology, went out, made his film, made his vision, used his own money that he raised to himself. Which is why I say, like, I am super happy I went to go and support this. Super happy. That's I'm like, yes, I paid money and put money into a film made by an artist using his own money. Fair enough. You know? Like,
Yeah.
but halfway through, I don't know, I just had a thing. Maybe I'll present this and it's like, because you look at, Ridley Scott's, it's been more missed than hit. You're looking at some of the other guys like Spielberg, Lucas, the end of Star Wars. Like, is this the end of days? Because because we're gonna see nothing more from Coppola now. This is his final film. Spielberg, he's pretty much done. So is this like the end of days? And if it's the end of days, what's the new generation?
No, it is the end, which is why it was important for me to go and watch this. I think, these guys, they don't. It's like you don't have anything left to say. You just don't, and you lose touch as well. As well, and I think that's also when you're a victim of success. Like when you've had the kind of success this guy has had, and you've made. You see, he's not a one-hit wonder. That's the key. Like he made multiple astonishing movies. but
That's
he
our
did
forever
them-
classics.
Yeah, but he did them in a very short period of time, and he's never matched that since then. Like not even close. So I think that he just had his time. He had his moment, and for the same man to make those 3 films, there are not a lot of that. He has on his own made better films than any filmmaker in history. Just alone. If you just take, because the thing is, you look at Godfather, it's like, if any filmmaker where that is their best film, you're like, damn, man, that's a very high bar. If a director, Godfather Part 1, if any director, Godfather Part 2 is their best film, you're like, whew.
Which is probably better than part
It's
one.
not probably, it is better
Yeah,
than Part 1.
yeah. Like Godfather 2 is like, I was like, do you know how dynamic this film is? And also, because I was watching an interview with Coppola like before we did this, he said he was the first guy to do a part 2. Before then, people did not have numbers. Like the notion of like a part 2 or this part 2 was not. It was so crazy that he said that when he said Godfather 2, the guy said, wait, but won't auditors be confused thinking that this is just the second half of the first film? Because it was such a new notion. That's just how dynamic that was. And bro, Godfather 2 is, that film is so dynamic. It's insane. And then, because I just looked at the release dates, and then you then end the decade in 79 with Apocalypse Now.
Yeah, no, Apocalypse Now, man. I mean, that's as well, like I said, as I said, Godfather Part 2, if a director made that, you just be like, as his best film. And then Apocalypse Now, if that a director made that,
So I'm just saying, so just to the
Crazy.
points that you're making, so do you think it's problematic that so many of his classics were in such a short space of time, but whereas you look at Spielberg, 70s Jaws, 80s Indiana Jones, 90s
I think
Jurassic Park,
Spielberg- I
and
think Spielberg is
Schindler's
not-
List.
Yeah, I don't view Spielberg as the same level of artist as
Coppola.
Coppola is. I feel Spielberg is like he's a director. He's an art. He's artistic. He's artistic for sure, but he's a filmmaker. He makes films, and he just Coppola is like when I say Coppola is an
Artist, yeah.
artist, I'm talking about like in Roman times he would have just been doing paintings or something, and they would have had patrons and Coppola's art. You know what I mean? And a lot of the art nobody would like, and then some of them would be masterpieces and whatever. He's a real artist who
yeah.
just happened to use film to convey some of his things, and it went well. That's the difference between him and like a lot of these guys, because the only other person I can think of like that who is a mainstream director who is really got mainstream is Kubrick. Because Kubrick was just an artist who just happened to use movies and pictures to say things. So when you watch, and that's one of my main guys. Like, I mean, that guy, you know, and I said it all the time. The best film I have ever watched in my life is Clockwork Orange. It's the best film I've ever seen.
I always said his best film, and people disagree, his best film to me is Strangelove, Dr. Strangelove.
Fair enough, if you say so. Clockwork Orange is the best film I ever watched. And it's because I remember when I first saw it.
Wait, hold up. Better than Bayformers 1?
I watched that film and I remember thinking, this is more than a movie. Like,
yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy.
It's more than Clockwork Orange is not a film. Like, that has gone beyond.
No, because the first time I saw it, I was like, I don't know what the hell I was watching. Then I had to watch it again. Then I was like, oh, now I know what this guy's doing.
The first time I watched it, I knew what I watched. I remember when I got to the end and I was like, God. Because it's made me question a lot of perceptions I had about humanity. So that when I got to the end, I came away from that film like reevaluating how I viewed good and evil. Like because of what happened to this guy and how I felt about him at different points in the film, which was what was so genius about it, because it's tricked you into your own sort of hypocrisy in the way you view right and wrong. Because you view this guy as a evil, then you empathize with him, then you don't, by the end you're like, you don't even know what to think anymore. You're like you're evaluating his behavior, and then you're like, then you take that and you apply it to society and you realize that is what people really are. Like, that Alex Delarge without violence is not a person anymore.
Yeah, no. He needed it. Yeah, he needed it.
Humans need you need the evil to be what we are. It's required. Once you take that out of the person, so that plans where they were just trying to reprogram people. That is dehuman. It's like anyway. Like
No. Because
that's ridiculous.
Because I would say like, don't say so much, because I think like, you know, when we do the film stuff, because I've not watched it in a long time, so I actually really want to watch. Based on everything you're saying, when we do a whole film stuff, I need to watch it again, because I watched it like, I think I watched it like years ago. Because the key thing is, when you watch films when you're older, you view them completely differently. Like, you view them completely differently when you view them now. It's like Scarface. When I watched Scarface the first time, I was like, wait, why is this film such a big deal? This guy's a complete moron. I watched it like a few weeks ago. I'm like, man, this is an amazing film. So I do feel like you have to give some years and allow yourself to mature. It's like, when last did you watch Clockwork Orange?
I don't need. This is what I'm saying about.
So that if you watch Clockwork Orange now, unless you did not watch years ago, you wouldn't see new things or view it differently.
I don't watch films that way. When I watch films, when a film is a classic to me, I watch it once. So all the greatest films I've seen, I've only watched once.
You have to watch them again.
No, I've only watched once, and I remember everything about them. So Gattaca, for example, Clockwork Orange, for example, like the movies where I'm like, this is one of the best films I've seen, I've typically watched once. Like I just
No,
feel
no, no,
I've
no.
watched them once.
But my point is that you can watch a film once and say it's a classic, but there's a level of maturity that you just have through life. As so when you watch it again, 10 years or 20 years after, you see things that your 20 years younger
Yeah,
eyes
but
never
I
could
get
have
that,
seen.
and I'm not saying that that's not the case. I'm not saying that's not the case. I'm just saying my appreciation for a movie is that when I watch a film and it has an impact on me, when I watch it, I tend to not even feel compelled to watch it again.
Oh,
You
I'm
know,
the opposite. I have to watch
I've
it again.
I've only watched Memento once.
Oh,
I watched it once.
so I've seen that like 3, 4 times,
I've watched it once. Prestige once.
3 times.
I've watched, like I said, Clockwork Orange once.
Now
Gattaca
here's the
once.
thing though. I've only seen Elephant Man once because I can't watch that again because that thing is too depressing. And even when I met John Hart, I said, John, that's a tough film to watch. So same thing with that. 12 Years a Slave Roots. Those films I only watch once. Schindler's List. Yeah,
Well, as
like
I said, like, yeah. So, I mean, that's the reason for me with movies that I like or that I think are really good. In general,
no, but sorry, just back to the point about artists. So what I want to ask is, so with all these greats now going, like, I think it's only Aronofsky who is the closest thing to these kinds of artists that we have left.
David Fincher.
Would you put Fincher in the same category as Aronofsky in terms of artistry?
Yeah, he is. He's different. He has his own style, but you look at some of the movies that guy has made. Yeah, I mean, he's an American artist, but anybody who does, when you look at Fight Club and
Seven.
and you look at the way he did them, I'm like, no, this guy he's of the 90s for sure. Like even
The
he's brought
Game.
he's brought the 90s style to the 2000s. Like he still makes films the same way, but he's the master of that sort of thing, like very grungy, organic movies,
Like
And
like MTV-ish, 90s
very highly
MTV-ish.
stylized or very. But the thing is that look, the guy was very good and he has a lot of talent, a lot of talent, very good at what he does. Like he's one of the best ones, of that.
So,
of
so
those
you're saying
style
that it's just
stuff.
Fincher and Aronofsky then?
No, there are guys. Shyamalan is an artist, man. Obviously, like that's obvious. He's one of the best examples of that. In that, this is somebody who, when he misses it, he misses so bad that you're shocked. You don't even know what to think. Like, you understand? Because when
Like,
we went to
because
watch The
I've-
Happening,
Yeah, I was literally going to say, I still haven't watched that.
we went to the cinema to watch that. It was, I think you went in the cinema.
No, I didn't go.
Listen,
I remember when you went, but I didn't go.
I remember The Happening. Let me tell you what happened in The Happening. Do you know
Yeah,
that
well, I'll put it up.
midway through The Happening, I was looking around and people who we didn't know each other were looking at each other to go, can you see what's going on here? Do you know what it's like for people who don't know each other to look at each other and start asking that, do you know, are you seeing what's going on? Like, can you believe this? I looked around me and I was talking to a guy behind me and we were both like laughing and like going like, what the hell is going on? They were talking to each other. I'm telling you, 3/4 of the way in, so there was about 20 minutes left. Let's say 30 minutes left. Everybody was talking.
Oh, wow.
Like, the movie was that crazy that people were talking about the film and nobody was telling anybody to keep quiet. Like, there was nobody saying, shut up, quit, we're trying to watch the movie. Nope. Everybody,
Well,
because
Shyamalan would have been best pleased if that was
that film got to the point. And so Shyamalan can never say anything to me. I paid to go and watch The Village. I paid to go and watch The Happening. I paid to go and watch Signs.
Did you watch Lady in the Water?
Do you know why I didn't watch that? Because of The Village.
So Lady in the Water was after Village.
So I went. This is what I did. Signs was right after.
I saw Unbreakable. So Unbreakable, Signs, I both watched in the cinema.
Unbreakable, I saw in the cinema. I've given so much money to this guy. Like I went to
Devil as well.
I went to see Unbreakable in the cinema. Then I went to see Signs in the cinema. Signs wasn't bad. Ending was off.
And it was Up until the ending, it was actually it was not bad.
It wasn't bad. Signs, and then after Signs was The Village, and that I was like, that
Now, here's the thing about The Village. That's a great twist, but
yeah,
it was
the
a
execution.
garbage. Like the build up to it was garbage, but that twist, I was like, no, that's a bloody amazing twist, but just horribly executed.
It was badly done. Like
Horribly
yeah,
executed.
It was well. Yeah, it was. So anyway, after that, Lady in the Water came out, and I was like, I can't go to the cinema again. You know, because
So
Signs-
is that the one where he's really heavily featured?
yeah, the
Lady in
Signs
the
one
Water.
ended, and the Signs ending was off, and I went to The Village feeling a bit. That Signs wasn't really what it should have been, and The Village was like that. Other than the twist, that film was. I was like, "What is this? What is this?
It's stupid. It was
so
stupid.
I was very annoyed, and then I missed Lady in the Water, and then I heard very negative things about it, and then I gave him a chance again in The Happening, which was after Lady in the Water, and as I've told people, I said The Happening goes down. It's one of the worst I've ever seen in the cinema. Like it has to be. Like I saw these are the three worst films I've seen in the theater. The worst, bar none, Battlefield Earth. Nothing is worse.
Just say, even the name sounds.
The second worst film I've ever seen in the cinema is Adventures of Pluto Nash.
Wow.
The third worst is Happening.
Mine is different. So mine is Pearl Harbor, Revenge of the Fallen, and probably Last Jedi.
None of those films are anywhere near as bad as the films I just told you. None.
Revenge of the Fallen.
No, you need to see. Have you seen Battlefield Earth?
Yes, Revenge of the Fallen is worse.
No, it's not.
Like about Battlefield Earth is Barry Pepper is still doing some acting.
It's still not.
At least Barry Pepper is acting. I cannot give you one single redeemable feature of Revenge of the Fallen.
As a movie,
As a movie, Revenge of the Fallen is a disgrace.
Every scene in Battlefield Earth is bad. Every single
So, including Barry Pepper scenes.
every scene in that movie is bad. There is not a good scene in that film. But as I said, look, those are the three worst. But at the end of the day, look, look with this movie, it is what it is. He made the movie. I can't defend it in terms of just the film itself, but the idea of making it is a good idea, and he was always going to get good actors to get involved. I don't know what actors think when they read a script, and look.
No, I
Coppola
know.
gives you-
And even this is from my very brief stints as acting. I'm working with Francis Ford Coppola, and that's
what I was
it.
saying.
Because actors are just extreme. They are into this whole, it's Coppola, and this is deep and everything. So they don't even look at the script. They're not even really reading the script properly. All they're saying is that, it's Coppola. He's an artist, and I'm going to be in this whole artistic thing, and that's just what they're thinking as actors.
Yeah, I mean, that was my point. I was just like, you know what? To be honest, I don't know who he asked to be in it, but I'm thinking that he could have probably got anybody to be in it.
They seem like first choices.
Well,
John Voight, Dustin Hoffman.
That's what I'm trying to say. That I feel like this is who he wanted.
Yes.
Because I don't view a situation where there's anybody out there that Coppola would have gone to.
And
they
say no.
No. The only reason why they would not do it is that they're not available or
scheduling and everything.
Yeah, but there's very few people. There's some people. So if you go to DiCaprio, he might not do it just because he doesn't feel like it. There's some more actors of that level that,
No, because my thing, like, let's say I was an actor, let's say I was like a really big actor, I had a big career and everything, and I was big, and a Coppola says, I want to be in your film. I'm not reading the scripts. I'm there.
No, I'm saying that
because I'm like, I'm in a Coppola. So
not everybody. I'm just saying that there are some actors who are at a point where that doesn't mean everything to them. Doesn't
Like
mean
who?
everything to them. I just gave you like DiCaprio. Like it's possible that he would just be like, yeah, you
For,
know
for,
what, I'm
for,
not going to do it.
forget
No,
that guy.
I'm just talking about just the level of success that some people have had. So, for example, he could have gone to Tom Cruise. Tom Cruise might not do it.
Yeah.
You know, he might not. He's at that level. Like, there's some guys who are at a level where it's like, you know, Tom Cruise would think about it. Like, he would. I think that he would just not. He will not just do it because it's Coppola, because he's at a point where he can do anything he wants. So it's like, it really would just be how he feels. Like, he might just look at the director and be like, it is Coppola. So he's like, man, you know, it's a Coppola movie. I've never done a Coppola movie. So for Tom Cruise to do it, you've got to make him a main guy. Like, you got to give him a decent role, you know? Like,
And his whole face has got to take up the entire poster. So
yeah, you got to give him something decent. And I think, so for example, I think he could have gotten Tom Cruise to play Adam Driver's role if he really wanted it. If he really wanted Tom Cruise to play that character. Yeah. I think he picked the right person, personally. I think that he...
Oh, yeah, like Adam, like this was, like, if the film was better, this was 100% the right guy to pick.
Yeah, no, if he picked the right person, you know, I thought Jon Voight did very well, personally, you know. I mean...
Thank you for remembering. I wanted to bring that in, that that guy's a good actor.
Yeah, but you're saying things. He's always been a good actor.
No. But do you know why I say this is okay? Because the reason why I want to bring the point is, okay, we know, but I'm saying to many people, he's the estranged father of Angelina Jolie. To many people, but I just want guys to know that this is Coming Home. This is Midnight Cowboy. This is Nate from Heat. This guy, and even in films that are not, even in Transformers, he did his job. Like, every film this guy is in, I'm like, this guy always gives a performance.
He's
very consistent. Yes.
He's very professional. Like, I don't think I've ever seen him just be rubbish.
He's never reined it in. He never phones it in, ever.
Well, I'm sure he has, but I've
never seen a film. Let's say I've seen him in a lot of films, and even in bad films, I've never seen a film where he phones it in. Where, okay, yeah, you know, he'll just go every single film, even if the film is bad, he's totally committed to whatever role he's given.
There's only one man who is money's worth. That's the only person I've ever, of all the actors in the history of movies.
Oh, Tom Cruise.
Yeah, that's.
Oh no! Oh yeah. No, but like,
anything like it.
That's common. Like, that's a cheat code.
That guy. There is no film he has ever made that he gives less than 110%.
But you know what's different? Tom Cruise is in that position where you can pretty much cherry pick any script, and when last was Tom Cruise a supporting guy? Jon Voight has been in trash films, and in those trash films, he is still one of the best things about those films.
Point about Tom Cruise. Every actor in his position, when they got to that top of the mountain...
Oh, yeah, they got lazy.
Everybody. He is the only person in the history of Hollywood that the bigger he got, the more focused he got.
He's the greatest movie star of all time. Let me say, he's the greatest movie star of all time.
Movie star in history.
Greatest movie star of all time.
The more successful Tom Cruise got, the more obsessed he got with controlling every element of the movie, which is why I said that for a movie fan, he's the best actor you can ask for.
100%.
Because it's like, this guy, if you're a fan of Tom Cruise, he goes so far to give you everything. So if you buy into what he does, he's going to give you everything you paid
everything.
Like, every dime you paid.
No. I think, like, I don't know which Mission Impossible it was. Where the last scene is where they're on the helicopter, and he's grabbing on the helicopter. I was like,
"It's Fallout."
Part 1. For me, I was like, do you know how privileged we are to have a movie star that is giving this much to a role as a lead? I'm looking at a Hollywood movie star hang on to the top of a helicopter while it's actually flying. For me, I was like, bro, do you know how privileged we are to have a movie star like this, where he's like, oh, just get my stunts double to do it. Like, no, he is, anything I can do, I want to be doing it. No, like,
yeah, but that's
he will go down as the best movie star of all time.
Yeah, that's why it's going to go down in history, because he's just a different human being. Like, you know, just a different kind of person.
And even beyond that, he's aware of that. Hence why you look at whenever there's a premiere, at least an hour signing autographs, at least an hour, because he's aware of, oh, I'm in a privileged position. I know what I have to do. The fans matter.
I don't think it's
I'm going to sign
about that.
autographs.
I think it's more a case of he understands the job of being a movie star, and that's part of it. And
Then why didn't the other people do it?
No. That's what I'm trying to say. That he, which is why he's the best movie star in history. He understands this is actually part of the job of being a movie star. You see, these other guys say, I'm not just, but I'm tired or I'm this and that. He's like, okay, I want my privacy, but there are certain things that I owe the fans who are paying for my ticket. So because these guys are paying for my ticket, when I'm doing a premiere, I'm not running into the screen. These guys all came out here to wait for me and whatever.
For
I'm
hours.
try and talk to
For hours.
everybody I can, as much as I can,
Yeah.
and talk to as many of them, because that's who's allowing me to continue to do what I'm doing. That's just a business. That's when you think of your movie starness as this is a job. I'm not just all these other stars. To them, it's like I'm great now. I'm great. You see, the beauty about Tom Cruise, and actually Will Smith actually is very good at this sort of mentality.
Before the slap.
I'm talking about his relationship with his fans.
Oh, yeah.
He's which is why him and Tom Cruise were neck and like
Yeah.
I think he learned from Tom Cruise this sort of mentality. He's like fans first.
Yes.
Fans first. Fans first. Fans first. So if he can do anything to make fans feel like he cares about them, he does what he can to make you feel like he cares about it, whether he does or not. And I think that is something that is missing from most movie stars.
And also and you're gonna like this. And do you know who is trying to copy them, but simply is just a trash actor?
Who's
The Rock. No.
No.
Look at his Instagram.
I do look at it.
He goes out like he is, whenever he stops his car, hello to fan, I'm going to give this fan this car. He does so much stuff, and it's obviously manufactured. So, and fans love him, and he does a lot of interaction with fans. The issue though is you're a horrible actor. And Will Smith, in the right role, you get a Men in Black. Tom Cruise, go watch Born on the 4th of July, go watch Collateral. He's actually a very good actor.
Well,
the issue with The Rock is that you are a trash actor.
I mean, look, at the end of the day, I don't even follow his things. I don't even know what that is.
No. I mean, I
feel like there's a lot of... it's all over anyway. Like, I think the age of that is finished. It's a done deal. We're moving into new eras. Anyway, look. That's all I got on this movie. It was not good, but
yeah, but basically not good, not trash, but confused. Like I don't know what I don't know what to make of the film. I'm like, what is this? What is that? I have no idea. But it was intriguing.
Look, that film is a solid 3 out of 10. Like solid. Like that is no more than that's a 3, because the way I look at it is that when you have that kind of resources, that amount of money, and nobody is telling you what you can and can't do, you got to do better than that. Like, because you can do anything. Like, this is literally, you've got a blank slate. Nobody is telling you that you can't do something. I mean, come on, because for a movie, I just don't like going in to watch a film where it feels like the person making it isn't thinking about the audience. And that's what it felt like. It felt like I'm just happen to be here. But the person who's making this thing is most certainly not thinking about me. Like, that's what I was like. I'm an observer, because guys are literally just walking around doing... Like, the act... Look, that Emmanuel lady, I'm like, she's fine, believe me. I mean, I'm not even thinking she's bad, but... part of it is like, which is what I meant. I'm like, man, nah, offline, man. Just end the talk back.
All right, man.